What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing really well. Yeah, another week has been and gone, and you join me with my tool bag again, right here, my Vito Pro Pack tool bag. And that is because I'm going to do Liam the Plumber's tools for apprentices. The video has been done many times. Lots of people have done their own interpretations of it. The top 5 tools, top 10 tools, whatever. I'm going to do something slightly different in the sense that I'm going to strip my bag bare, just so it's got the bare essentials in if you're an apprentice, a starter, or whatever. Because there's some stuff in here you don't need as an apprentice. So let's get into it. But before I get into this video today, I just want to say thank you very much for all the likes and comments on last week's video. Genuinely, thank you very, very much. Also, thank you very much to the new subscribers to the channel. If you're unaware who I am Liam the Plumber. You can find me on Instagram. Check me out on there. You'll see a lot more stuff, including van related stuff and a lot more of the jobs that I do as well. Also want to say, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It is free. It is free to subscribe. Also, when you're there, click the notification bell so you do not miss a video when it drops. Right, let's get into this. Right, so this bag you've all seen in one video previous. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it out, lay the contents down here somewhere, and then we're going to fill it back up with what I think is the bare essentials an apprentice should have. Now, doesn't mean you have to go for the same brand, like Nipex, Weir or whatever. You can put your own versions or variants of it in a bag. So I'm not saying you've got to have a Vito bag. You can have a Stanley bag, because that's exactly what I started out with. It was a little Stanley Fat Max, the tote bags. I probably had 4 or 5 of those to start with, and then this bag I've had for probably 6-7 years. So love this. If you're an apprentice or a new starter, this is kind of an expensive bag to start with, but a great bag nonetheless. Can't beat the quality. Amazing, amazing quality of these. The best bags on the market in my opinion. So I'm going to empty this out, and then we're going to refill it with what I think for an apprentice or starter is kind of the bare essentials you should have. So as you can see, guys, I started off really well just by laying it out, and then do you know what, because there's so much stuff in this bag, I just threw it on the deck of the van. Anyway, basically I'm going to just kind of, what I'm going to do it is put stuff in that is essential, and stuff that isn't essential I'll just leave out. So like I say, we'll start off with the bag itself. So I love this bag. I've had this, I say 6-7 years. You can see where like it's fallen out of the van on multiple occasions, gone through the leather down to the plastic. Really, really strong, durable bag. Now, if you're an apprentice or a starter, you're probably not going to pay the money or want to pay the money for one of these. This is the Tech OTMC, so it's one of the smaller bags Vito do. Velocity do bags as well, really high quality, but I just prefer these. The Stanley bags are what I started out with, and I highly rate them. For the money, they're really, really good. You know, whatever is within your budget is what you go for ultimately. And like I say, I started out with a Stanley bag, well, I'd say 4 or 5 to start with over the years, and then I went on to one of these eventually. So we'll fill it with probably the first most important thing, which is a tape measure. Now this is a Stabila tape measure. Again, nylon sort of tape itself, high quality, really, really good. Again, I started off with Stanley ones, Stanley tape measures. Even got, I think, like an Ox one laying about somewhere, like on my soldering bag. But yeah, tape measure is the #1 thing that goes in the bag. The second thing, I'm going to say again, is a level, spirit level. Measuring and marking are probably the 2 most important things for plumbers. You have to get your measurements right, you have to get your marking correct. There's kind of no room for error, especially on a first fix. It's key. Again, this level is a small Stabila torpedo level, boat level, however you want to call it. It's magnetic. You can get, again, cheaper ones. I did have cheap ones. I remember years ago, the first level I had was a little Screwfix own brand, kind of like red boat level. That's what I started off with, moved up to one of these. So a boat level and a tape measure are the first two things you should have in the bag. The next thing out of all of this, I'm going to say is a hammer. This is an E-swing, S-swing, however you want to say it. Again, I started off with a Stanley hammer. And do you know what? I've still got the hammer and it's currently sat in that box in there. I've still got it to this day. But an E-swing is what I moved up to. So you can kind of see the progression you make over the years. So I started off with, like I say, Stanley stuff. There's still some Stanley stuff in an outlet. That's what I started off with. That's what I had the money for. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy all the expensive stuff, because you don't. The Stanley stuff, Irwin stuff does the same thing. It's just, this is kind of what you move up to. But yeah, Stanley stuff is what I started with. So E-swing is in there now. I did have a Stanley. The next thing out of all of this, I think it's going to be grips and adjustables. Now, adjustables, I carry these two sets in this bag. These are the little slimline, but they're the wide jaw versions, and these are Bako, however you want to say it. Do you know what? I'm going to say this, might be controversial, but just invest in Bako adjustables to start with, because you don't want adjustable slipping on decorative rad valves or anything like that. So just my advice, invest the money in good quality adjustables right from the start, because they're just important. And to go with them, I'd probably go with grips or water pump pliers, however you want to call them. So these three are, you can see how much I've worn these down over the years. These are Knipex Cobras. Do you know what? Knipex, Rothenberger, Bako all make really high quality grips, water pump pliers. I'm going to say it again, I'd personally just invest the money in the Knipex ones. They are expensive, but they are really good. And if you can, get the set of three, like these. So these are 180, then the 250, then the 300s. If you can get all three, get all three. If not, at least get the 180s and the 250s. So yeah, grips are what I would put in there next. The next thing I'd probably go with, you can see what I'm leaning towards, the screwdrivers. Now, I'll pick out these Weira ones, because the green ones are Torx drive, so you don't need them at all. Not if you're an apprentice or a starter, you're not going to need them yet. So, these ones, the Weira chisel drives. Now, you can tell I've brought these recently, because I keep on losing other sets. I'd personally invest in the chisel drive ones, because you can use them as chisels for whacking stuff, prying stuff, whatever. High quality, really robust. That's if you're going to go down the Weira route. Now, again, I started off with Stanley screwdrivers. It's what I started off with. So for me, a set of good quality screwdrivers, and do you know what? The Stanley ones are good, to be fair. You can't go wrong with them. So I've got Weira in there now. I did use Stanley. So what we've got so far: tape measure, hammer, grips, adjustable, screwdrivers, level. What's next out of this pile? I think Stanley knife, flip knife. This is a Milwaukee one. Pretty cheap. They're kind of all the same sort of price now. Sort of anything from 10 to 20 quid, maybe even more. You can get cheaper ones, but yeah, Stanley knife, can't go wrong with one of them. Again, I started off with a Stanley knife. The next thing in here, I'm going to say, is pipe slices. Now, you'll see a theme here, because there is a new one here, which I brought yesterday. So I use these, the Nerad tools, pipe slices. I lost my last Nerad one, but I've had this Monument one, 15mm one, on there for quite a while. You can tell by the rust. This is on a Regan cutter keeper. Keeps all the slices pretty handy. Now, if you're a starter or an apprentice, you're only going to need 15 and 22. You're not going to need 28. Highly unlikely your boss or whoever you're working with is going to have a 28 slice. But it's always handy to have your own. So I'd definitely say pipe slices. Again, this might throw some people back, but Screwfix used to have their own pipe slices, and they were like a red all the way around here, and then they had like a yellow snapshot. Let me know in the comments if you know the ones I'm talking about. That's again what I started off with. It was a lot of Stanley and Screwfix kind of own brand stuff. So pipe slices are in the bag. Do we think olive cutters belong in the bag for an apprentice? And these are Ox ones, by the way. Do we think these belong in the bag for an apprentice or beginner? Let me know in the comments if you think olive cutters belong in there. I'm kind of undecided. So I'll leave them out for the time being, but the one tool that I constantly have to kind of share with my apprentice when we do one of these jobs is rad valves. So this is a Rothenberger rad tail ratchet thing. You've all seen these. There's loads of different variants of them from other manufacturers. If you're an apprentice or a newbie getting into it, just get one of these, because my apprentice sometimes has to share this with me, and when we're doing radiator valves each, we have to try and share this, and it can be a bit of a pain. So if you're a newbie or an apprentice, just get yourself one of these Rothenberger rad tail ratchet thing. Yeah, that goes in the bag anyway. That's in there. I mean, then you could argue that you'd probably put in there a little junior hacksaw. That definitely go in there. Pry bar or crowbar, 100%. And then definitely some sort of paste for your olives. A set of Allen keys, I think so. These are pipe guides for your pipe bender. Mine sits in the van over there. If you're just starting out, you probably haven't got a pipe bender, but if you do have a bender, then definitely your pipe guides would go in your bag as well. And then the rest of it, kind of all this sort of stuff, is kind of just extra stuff. I mean, we'll leave them for the comments. Everyone vote in the comments below. So these are Torx keys, small little pocket level, pliers, wrench. I mean, it does the same job as an adjustable, just gives you a bit more sort of leverage. Love those. But yeah, old chisels, set square, plumb thumbs, rapid blue, locked. Do you know what I mean? Picks, drill bit. They're kind of like extra little bits and pieces you might use. I mean, these Stanley plastic pipe cutters I use for condensate and overflow. But again, you can use a hacksaw. So I kind of think that's what we'll leave out for the time being, that lot there. Let me know in the comments about them. But that's kind of like my kind of basics for like an apprentice. So we've got, in here we've got tape measure, pipe slices, grips, adjustable, screwdrivers, paste, hammer, rad ratchet, junior hacksaw, knife, level, pry bar, crowbar, and Allen keys, and obviously a bag. Yeah, I said about all the brands you can probably buy for a lot cheaper than these. Again, it's entirely down to you as to how much you want to spend, first off, you know, what your budget is. But let me know, should I do a video on what plumbing tools I can buy with 100 quid and see if I can do a week's work with them? Let me know again in the comments. So that and the oil cutters, guys, I need your help with. But yeah, there we go. Liam the Plumber's apprentice tool bag. So I kind of hope that's helped you all a little bit, if at all. If you're an apprentice, if you're a starter, into the trade a little bit, whatever. If it helps, let me know. Also in the comments, I do need your help on the olive cutters, whether they should go in there. And obviously let me know if you want me to do like what I can get for 100 quid and see if I can do a week's work with it. Let me know. I think it could be quite a fun challenge. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Remember, please subscribe to the channel. It's free to do so. Click that notification bell. And guys, I'll see you next Sunday, because this week's work It's going to be cool. We've got some amazing jobs and I can't wait to show you what we've got lined up. Anyway, have a good week, guys. See you on the next one.